But what I can say is this, from the bottom of my heart, Aeroo has been one of the best companies to fly with. They have been one of the most supportive companies that we have ever used. Right, we'll get into it. Now, many of you are going to find it pretty hard to believe that this is probably one of the toughest videos I'm ever probably going to produce or have produced. And that is around me, of course, as you've read in the title, leaving Team Aeroo, or I guess leaving the pro team, okay, which was a huge decision. But what that brings for you is now I can give you a completely unbiased, gloves off perspective of Aeroo and what the company was really like to deal with. We're going to go through the four, I guess, majors, which is, of course, we're going to start with the drone quality. I'm going to then go with the ease of use and reliability of this drone. And remember, this is going to be exceptionally honest because I've got absolutely no ties with this company at all anymore. I'm going to go through the company itself and then, of course, the client satisfaction, or where I believe you guys should be as a client with this company. And then I guess the hottest question of all is, why did I decide to leave the Aeroo Pro team? Now, I'm not going to lie, the 4 key points that we are going to touch on today, I've got questions relevant to them, and that wasn't questions I've made up. I reached out to a whole group of people to get the questions that they would like answered on Aeroo itself. And first, we're going to start with the quality of the Aeroo drones. And I mean, I guess the first question I got was around how would I describe the overall build quality of the Aeroo drones based on my personal experience of flying them. Now, my personal opinion is these are a sub $2,000 drone. Okay, so you're not going to be expecting the most premium quality drones in the world. You just wouldn't be expecting that. But what I can say about the overall build quality of these drones for the price you pay is pretty bloody good. Okay, we're talking a drone, as I said, that's sub 2,000, can carry kilo payloads, can fly in 50 kilometre an hour winds, which we did a video on. But most importantly, this particular drone here has been dropped. It has flown into lines. It has been toppled off the top of tables on the beach. It has snapped propellers. I have really probably put this drone through more than what it should have been, and yet it still starts up and flies exactly as it should. And for me, that really gives me a bit of satisfaction, I suppose, with the build quality. The negative I've found with the build quality is in the gimbal, there was a bit too much tolerance, in my opinion, for where I fish. Now, of course, Aeroo doesn't know where we all fish, but where we fish, the sand is exceptionally fine and it gets into everything, which has jammed up my gimbal on several occasions, but that's been fixed with giving it a quick brush and away it goes. So overall build quality, I actually think was pretty good. Now, another question I got is, what aspects of the drone's design or materials stood out to you as strengths or weaknesses? Well, as I've just covered, I feel like the materials of the drone is very good. I think the propellers are weak enough to create that tolerance of when they do hit something, it doesn't actually affect something further down the line. So if we were fishing carbon blades on this, for argument's sake, and they could take a bit of a hiding, we might actually notice the breakdown into the motors or something different on the drone. So yeah, I think the build quality and materials of this particular drone are exactly where they need to be in all different areas. I've got here, did the performance and durability of the drone meet my expectations at the time I was using it? Yeah, absolutely. Mega kilometers put on this drone, and it has been fairly faultless the whole way through. Look, whilst we're touching on performance, because that was part of the question, I have actually had a few issues with the drone itself. Now, that might be disconnecting from the controller, barometric pressure flags, which would not enable me to fly. It has had jammed gimbals. etc. But all of those have been very fixable on the spot and have allowed me to keep flying. And that's important. The fact that I was able to obviously work through the issues on the spot, get the drone in the air and keep flying was good. I've never actually been in a place where I guess the drone couldn't fly. And the fourth question here, how did Aeroo's drone quality compare to other drone brands you have used in a similar condition? That's a really good question. I would like to compare this with the DJI, which I think is the most comparable. I mean, same sort of price bracket. The DJI's granted are 250 gram less on the payload. But in terms of flying this next to my Mavic Pro, as well as my Phantom that I've had, this eats them for breakfast, well and truly. The quality of it is on par, but where I think the DJI did exceed and excel over this was certainly the return to home, because these drones here, guys, if you want something that's going to land on a dime, they're not going to do it. They're 2 to 3 meters off every time. That's as simple as it is. You're best off, and I know Aeroo says don't do this, but you are actually best off catching it if you're not good at manually landing it, okay? That's my opinion. DJIs will land on a 50-cent piece. These will not. However, everything else, these will actually do better. So we've got the ease of use and reliability now. This is fairly, I guess, similar to the first lot of questions we've just answered. But I guess this is where we really start getting into the nitty-gritty and the finer thoughts of this drone. So how easy was it to set up, operate the drone during regular use? I actually produced my first ever video on this channel where it actually showed you me never having flown the drone before and how easy it was for me to put in the sky. One thing I did like about Aeroo is there is no setup with this drone. So you literally pull it out the case, put the battery in, which I suppose would be part of the setup, chill out, turn the controller on. I preferred the old remote over the new smart remote, so I'd put my phone in the remote and away you'd go. And this did that very, very well. So in terms of ease of use, this was probably the easiest drone I have ever used. Now, the reason I'm going to say it's easier than the DJI's is the DJI obviously had the separate bait release mechanism, where this has got the all built-in mechanism. So that just made this a lot more simple to use. How consistent was the drone's performance across different environments or job types? Yeah, pretty good. I mean, it was a very consistent flying drone. I mean, we flew this, as I said, mega kilometers. This was probably going to be one of the heaviest used Aeroo drones other than Jamie from Non-Stop Drops, and go check him out if you want to, because he puts more miles on the drones than anyone I know. But we flew this across all situations, so windy, calm, heavy fog, light rain. Don't argue with me. I know I wasn't meant to do it, but we did. And across all those situations and different environmental factors, we actually found this drone to be super competent and always did pretty well. The one thing I would say is, once again, is not being a waterproof drone, you really needed to keep the sand out of it. So it was blowing really hard on the beach, we'd pack the drone away in between bait drops, which was good. Customer service and company support. Now, this is one that everyone I reached out on, they had a million questions. So it was really hard to decipher the top 3 or 4 that I was going to answer, because there was a lot of concern around Aeroo's support. Now, what I decided, instead of actually answering individual questions on this, I'm just going to go through, I guess, my experience and what I actually see from Aeroo. This is something that I think you're going to find pretty interesting. And as I said, I'm going to be as honest as I can about this. In my time dealing with Aeroo, I started to get a bit nervous when I'd watch the Aeroo Facebook page and I'd see all these people complaining about, I can't get tech support, right? But what I wanted to do was I actually wanted to see firsthand whether or not this was true, because my experience as a pro angler with Aeroo was that Harry and the boys were that lightning fast with anything that went wrong with these things. It was ridiculous. But was that just due because I was a pro staff member? No. See, a lot of my mates bought Aeroo, okay, a lot of my mates. Once we got involved with this and they flew these drones, they had to have them. Now, some of those guys did need a bit of tech support, which was fantastic. Why was it fantastic? Because what I could see was I could see them emailing Aeroo or messaging Aeroo on Facebook and how quick they'd get a reply. Now, leading up to Christmas, they were getting replies within the day, and any problem they needed was solved like that, absolute lightning. Now, to me, that had nothing to do with me as a pro team member. Aeroo had no idea that when all the other boys who had or were going to buy a drone had problems or needed technical support. And when they did, it was so lightning fast and so professional, the replies, that it gave me a fantastic peace of mind as a pro angler that everything was getting done correctly. Now, why does it need to give me peace of mind? Simply because I'm promoting this product, guys. So if I promote a product and it doesn't live up to your expectations, you're going to come back on me and go, hey, you sold me, or you talked to me about a terrible product and you said everything was great when it's not. Now, I've seen, based on a 10-person case study of people I know, that there was always a lightning quick response. Now, other than that, I've always found the guys at Aeroo exceptionally great to deal with. It's very interesting that they always seem to have a reply on Facebook, and they're always on the Facebook groups trying to better themselves. But what I can take from this, guys, is these guys are always also initiating upgrades for these drones to make them more and more and more reliable. So as I said, customer service, guys, be patient, be polite, be courteous, and you'll certainly get to where you need to be. Let's get on to the final one, which is the one I reckon you're all waiting for. Why did I leave the Aeroo Pro team? This is a really simple one to answer. Simply because I didn't feel that my audience really wanted to watch too much drone content. Now, we released a fair whack of drone content, both in short format and long format, and the views simply weren't there. Now, I know a lot of people are going to go, well, bugger the views, bugger the people that didn't want to watch it. But however, the people that don't want to watch it are also, I guess you'd call them a client or an audience that we want to make sure is satisfied as much as everyone else. And that doesn't mean that we're going to stop the droning content, because we're not. But what it meant is I felt I couldn't deliver any more the amount of productivity or dedication to this product that I believe it personally deserves. And I really think there's other content creators out there that truly deserve an Aeroo endorsement more than me, who will put in more of an effort, who will represent the brand a whole lot more, and I guess just do the brand a lot more proud than what I possibly could, and potentially even have an audience that would like to watch it more than mine would. Now, the other reason is where I live, it is absolutely no secret that we cop terrible weather a lot of the time. And when I'm time restricted, I've got to fish conditions. Now, our beautiful government over here in Western Australia has introduced a demersal ban, which means we cannot chase jewfish, snapper, ball-chin, black arse, etc., etc., etc. off the boat. So we are now land-based only for those species. Now, a lot of you will go, who cares, just fish land-based. But the problem is when you work full-time, you're starting a business, you also need, and trust me, this is leading into another reason as to why I'm moving away from the Aeroo Pro team. We have to fish when we can, not necessarily to the conditions. Now, some of those conditions may be pissing down with rain, for argument's sake, and unfortunately, I don't want to fly my baby in the rain. So what that means is I need to also now have the facilities of a waterproof drone. So as I can fly in that light rain, I can fly in the heavy rain, I can fly it when I need to, okay, without risking damaging it. And that wouldn't be very fair on the Aeroo brand if I was flying another product when Aeroo puts so much time and effort into me. Now, what I would like to say is those two factors are the main contributing factors. Of course, there's other ones, but they're very, very boring. But what I can say is this, from the bottom of my heart, Aeroo has been one of the best companies to fly with. They have been one of the most supportive companies that we have ever used. They've been fantastic, both listening to their anglers as well as supporting their anglers. They've given fantastic opportunities, and I've enjoyed meeting you guys that fly these things down at the Tackle Talk days at Tackle West and BCF and all the ones that I've done. So it's really been a fantastic experience to be involved with a company like this. We're sad to have had to hand in a resignation as such, but I feel, as I said, it was only fair to give another angler that could potentially do the brand prouder than what I have, the opportunity to be involved with such a fantastic company. Now, maybe that's my maybe that's my way of thinking, I guess, with compassion or giving someone else an opportunity rather than myself. But I've never been that selfish individual that would hold on to something as tight as I could, and preventing someone else from another opportunity, knowing full well that I can't represent what I need to do to its full potential. I've always been thoughtful of the next person that could do it slightly better or benefit better from me. So I'm not leaving Aeroo in any way due to quality issues or anything other than that. Those two reasons I've given you are bang on. And I said the first reason is really the stake in the ground as to what pushed me across the edge to send Adam and Harry that email that I didn't want to send. And trust me, it was a hard email. The guys were awesome when they received that email. I need to add that in too. They were so supportive. They've offered me, if ever I want to come back and fly for Team Aeroo, then I can do just that. But for the time being, as I said, I think it's best I step back and give someone else, hopefully, the opportunity that I had to work with such a bloody terrific company. All right, guys, that's enough banging on. I'm pretty sure I would have taken up well over 20 minutes of time by now. As I said, this is a hard video to put together. Glad I did, because as I said, I really feel that a lot of the punters wanted to know the in-depth and the not so Hollywood side of Aeroo, but wanted to know everything about it. And now I believe after watching this, you can also shop with confidence and know that if treated right, these drones really are a reliable, fantastic option for your fishing. Okay, guys, until the next episode, have a good one. We've got plenty of cool new content coming up in 2026. We have got some exciting news coming up in the next couple of weeks. I've got some exciting new products to review, have a look at and talk you guys through, both at the very cheap end and some tackle at the highest end that I never thought I'd be blessed enough to own. But we'll get into that in weeks to come. Thanks very much for watching this video, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you later.